Okay, we're going to file this under what if this had happened in the Super Bowl. This is a glaring mistake that the NFL needs to fix, or should I say correct, right away. This just should never happen. And it's one of those things that doesn't happen that often, so it's maybe not been noticed until now, or I don't know what to say about that. But anyway, this is the December 27th, 2020 game between Tennessee and Green Bay. And Green Bay runs off like a 40-yard run, but the runner actually went out of bounds temporarily early on, but nobody caught it. And I'm going to explain why nobody caught it. Because NBC caught the mistake, but they didn't realize why the mistake occurred. So I'm going to hit play and show it to you. Then I'm going to fast forward because they give the explanation of what happened and how much yardage was lost. And I want you to hear that too. And then I'll explain what happened.
Start on the ground. Aaron Jones gets free. Looked like he'd be stopped early on, and Aaron Jones right now skirting the sideline, stays in bounds, and it's Adoree Jackson finally running him down. So Jones looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, bounced it to the outside, and goes all the way down to set up a first down and goal.
First of all, a brilliant run, just pretty much on his own. But watch the defense almost hesitate once he got into the cleared area, like that was the out-of-bounds line. And they almost got a little comfortable, but he never went there.
There he is. They're going to call that. Meanwhile, there is no challenge. They could have won the challenge. Aaron Jones gets stopped here. It's going to be second down and goal. He was clearly, as you can see there, out of bounds at that spot. We'll find out what that spot was in a moment. But that's where the ball should have gone back to, but it didn't.
But he went down the Packers sideline. If he had gone down the other side, you would have heard the screaming and they would have known to challenge it. But over here, they didn't know.
And couldn't get the communication from upstairs early enough, and so you got second down and goal.
And why didn't they get the communication early enough? Very simple reason. I'm going to try to find the replay while I explain what went wrong. Because they scored, as you can see, and they basically got over 30 extra yards for free on a play they shouldn't have. What happened was, because he was tackled inside the 10-yard line, the referee immediately waved the clock to start running. Normally on a long gain, if it's not within the 10-yard line, the clock doesn't start right away because the chains have to be moved down the field and reset up so the clock doesn't move, either one, either the 40-second clock or the game clock. They stay as they are. So in this instance, he went down to the 8-yard line, so they don't need the chains anymore. Okay, here it is. Here's their explanation. And then I'll explain it a little bit more.
Up to the 31-yard line. All right, let's go back to the play. A gigantic play, obviously, because you got Jones to the outside. That's the 43-yard line of Tennessee. He winds up at the 7-yard line. So by not getting the challenge in fast enough, not even seeing it at a certain point, of course, the snowy field makes all the difference as well when you're looking at it. Cost them 36 yards, set up a first and goal, and then they went for the touchdown.
Now he actually gave me the reason right there, but they didn't expand on it. Basically, anytime there's a long gaining play and they end up within the 10-yard line, you don't need the chains anymore because it's going to be first and goal. So the ref, if the play's in bounds, is going to wave his arms to start the clocks while all the players are like, they could be 30 yards away. And they're all rushing down the field. There's all kinds of madness going on. You got to figure out if you're subbing guys or not. The clock's running down. So to then add into that an instant replay, keeping in mind on a long gainer, the play's naturally going to be longer anyway, right? If somebody completes a 40-yard play and you have to review it, that's going to take 4 or 5 or 6 seconds longer than reviewing a 10-yard play, right? Because there's more to look at. So you can't start the clock right away. And the only way I can see to do this right is you have to have the chains moved anyway. Even though it's going to be first and goal, The chains are moved down the field, so neither clock has started. They're temporarily put in position, so at the 8-yard line and then just 10 yards down into the goal line. Just temporary. Then the clock starts, then they move them away because you don't want that chain in the end zone because the player could get injured. So by not doing that, they cut off 10 seconds off the Titans' time to look at the play, plus the play was longer. So there's like almost no way they can review the play. This is an oversight. And again, I'm going to ask, what if this had happened in the Super Bowl? That would have been pretty crazy, don't you think? People would be going, well, why didn't you have an instant replay? Well, because you started the clock right away.
3-yard line.
Look at that. That's crazy. He's out of bounds, and there wasn't enough time. So if I were the NFL, I'd just fix this right away. Correct it right away. Say, look, chains got to move, even on a 1st and 10, even a 1st and goal. They got to move so that the clocks don't start until the chains are set. Then move the chains off the field. That's it. So anyway, that's my suggestion. I know I'm right on this. I know I'm totally right, and I feel really bad because fans are going, why were the Titans so stupid? And NBC showing you that he went out of bounds, and they're trying to make the excuse of the snow. It wasn't the snow. It's that he was tackled on the 8. It's 1st and goal. You don't need the chains. So the ref started the clock right away. So there's just not enough time to review the play, and because the play is longer, you have even less time to review it because there's more to look at. So, if you've been tackled and gone out at the 11-yard line, let's say, okay, then the chains have to come down the field because they're going to be 1st and 10, right? So neither clock starts. The clock I watched. I pointed to it earlier in the video just to show you, but I didn't say anything because the video was going. The clock started immediately. As soon as he was tackled, the ref ran up and he started signaling for the clocks to start because he knew it was 1st and goal. So this is a really big deal. Anyway.
Cost them 36 yards instead of a 1st and goal, and then they went for the touchdown.
See? So anyway, I'm just asking the NFL, please fix this. Please correct this. This is a mistake. And it's a big deal because you're giving an unfair advantage to one team because the other team has to look on a long play that was not really a long play. See, that's the key. It really wasn't a long play. But because it was deemed a long play, it takes longer to review, and because the chains don't have to be moved because it's 1st and goal, the clock starts right away. And then you got all your players not even anywhere near the 1st down. So this has to be, so I don't know what the rule change would be exactly. I think the simplest way would be chains have to always move. Even if you then move them out, that way you can keep the consistency with the clock pure. Because for those 2-yard markers to move down the field, it would have taken another, I think, at least 10 seconds. And that could have been the difference maker to reviewing the play. Or you just make a rule on any long play where the ball is within the 10-yard, so it's going to be 1st and goal, you give an extra time to review the play. Something. They got to do something because that's not fair. What happened wasn't fair, and I think fans ultimately want to see a fair game. And especially now that you've added betting into the formula. They definitely want to see a fair game.